welcome back. It's Doreen, and I'm in the car again. Emma and I, wow, we've had an adventure with that. So, what's been going on? So, I was supposed to go home in January. That didn't happen. We have had, Mom's had a cancer scare, Dad's had a cancer scare. He actually did have cancer in his neck, a melanoma. They did have 2 surgeries to excise it out of his neck. They think they've got it all. So that's awesome. But as you know, with skin cancer, it can pop up anywhere, anytime, and you just never know. They did scans of his chest and belly. They're not seeing any signs of cancer, but he does have elevated liver enzymes. So we are trying to figure out what's going on with that. We have finally gotten his weight stabilized. We've increased his calories, all the while maintaining 2,000 milligrams of sodium and trying to keep his A1C low. With that, we did meet with Nurse Donna, who is an endocrinologist nurse. She's fantastic. And we've been keeping his A1C at 6.2, 6.3 while he was healing. So now that his wound has healed and it's just the outer skin or the inner skin that's got to match up to the thicker layer of skin, and we're, maybe 3 or 4 layers left to be done, but it's not an open wound anymore. Just have to keep it clean. Mom gets that lovely job now to do butt checks. This is my life. And as long as we keep that clean and we don't have any issues with pressure wounds and getting him up and down, and with that, he's getting stronger. Unfortunately does have mild dementia, which makes it challenging on certain days if anybody's dealt with dementia or Alzheimer's. 1, God bless you. 2, I feel your struggle. And 3, if you have any tips or hints or helps or courses that you took or professionals you've talked to, it's a struggle. Some days I'm the most hated person on the face of the earth. Other days I'm his favorite child, and I know that's never true, so that's always interesting. But yeah, it's an ongoing thing. So we have gotten him to a point where on the days that his dementia's not so bad, it's not so bad. On the days when he's angry and aggressive and frustrated and, why are you still here? Go home. Hate you. It's more difficult. No support from my sister. My brother's in Alaska, so he kind of gets to skate, but they don't really listen to anything Mom and I have to say, which makes it hard. I'm not gonna lie. Disowned my sister over most of this and some other stuff. I want nothing to do with her. She's just constantly, on the days that she shows up to take him out once a week, he comes back all sugared up and caffeined up, which we have to limit those things per the doctors. This is not us just being mean to him. The doctors want him at 2,000 milligrams of sodium, 3 liters of liquid a day, and to limit to 2 caffeinated beverages, 8-ounce coffees per day, and everything else has to be water to decaf ratio. Nobody else but Mom and I seem to want to follow that, so I figure they just want to kill him. That's kind of where I'm at with that. So yeah, I sound pretty angry and pretty bitter. I've been asking my brother to come home from Alaska to give my mom a break, mental health break, because she used to be able to travel with me, and for the last 3 years, or with my aunt, and for the last 3 years she hasn't been able to because my dad has been sick. So over the last 9 months that I've been here, for the last 5 months I've been asking my brother, hey, can you just take a week? You don't have to have everybody. Dolores, my sister, has said, she will take time off, be there with you. My husband said he would take time off to, be there as well. Just had to coordinate everything, and more tired, more and more frustrated. And then she's had some health scares. We actually ended up in the ER one night because her blood pressure was like 197 over, I don't even, like 100, and had been going up all day. She was dizzy. So we've had some major scares. It wasn't until that scare that my brother actually booked a trip. And I'm talking really fast, but I get really wound up. Booked a trip in June, end of June, but couldn't coordinate with the same weeks my husband could take off, so that, anyway. So Mom and I will be spending time in Boston area instead of going to like Vegas, which is what we really wanted to do, or going somewhere south to maybe scope out places for them to rent in the winter. Again, if anybody has any suggestions on good places for seniors, that maybe golf cart community or walking to things to do, not driving as much. My mom can drive fine, but she gets nervous in the city, especially in a new city, and I'm hoping to not have to, spend the winter down there with them, maybe go for the first week, get them situated and figure everything out, and then, turn them loose. You know what I mean? I'm very protective, very, very much want them to have a good time and to enjoy life and to go do all the things. Dad doesn't like to travel. Mom wants to travel desperately. So anyway, we'll have about 6 days off in June to go to Boston. She wants to go to the Goodwill bins, so if you see me at the bins, say hi. So we'll be doing the New Hampshire one and the Boston, and also probably the Garment District. I've done that one before, but we'll do it. I'll do it with Mom. And then a ton of thrifting. Probably going to the casinos, which is another thing she likes to do. So right now, Mom changed up her medications for her high blood pressure. Trying to get her hydrating more, which is really, really difficult. She's heard it from me. She's heard it from the ER doctor. She's heard it from her doctors, all my father's doctors. But she's exhausted, which is basically what it came down to. Is she's exhausted. I'm exhausted. She's exhausted. We're mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted. Not at a point where we'd even consider, putting them in a home. We're trying to hire someone, possibly overnights, but we've also kind of come up with another plan. So our thought process is I'm hoping to go home after our vacation and do nighttime overwatch with video cameras, not in Dad's room, but so that I can hear his Libra sensor if it goes off, and be able to awaken Mom, which we just tried it last night. Now our communication wasn't so great, but Mom and I need to work on that piece of it, but it was a first night, so it went pretty well. We do have the apps on both of our phones, so we will hear what goes on, but it's half an hour behind time. So if he's really that low in blood sugar or really that high in blood sugar, we wouldn't know for half an hour. So we want to do more like security cameras with audio, motion detection, and don't take it the wrong way, baby monitor, whether it's a audio monitor or like a video monitor. Mom would have that in her room. I would just have the audio piece of it. I've slept in there with my dad. I've watched over my dad sleeping, for the last, from when he came home in August up until probably November. He needs his privacy. I need my privacy. So I guess my thought process is, whether it's Whatnot District, Knickknacks, Poshmark, I'll be selling at night, doing Overwatch, so that I can listen and wake up Mom, but I can also be in my home. We're still trying to decide, if they'll come to my house for a few days a week, so my mom can just be off, and like on the weekends, my husband and I would just take care of Dad, and mom, kind of spoil her a bit, but have it be very low key, just kind of hang out. I would plan the meals. Mom could have some brain time off, because I think one of the things that she struggles the most with is, figuring out diabetic diet and low sodium diet, and finding things that taste good, that are filling, and getting my dad to the right amount of calories. And there for a while, he just kept losing weight, doing what the nutritionist had said, but his body's changed, and we just had been increasing his caloric intake, but it's really hard to do to hit all the diabetic parameters, the low sodium parameters, and get full enough. Anybody has any ideas? We are going to be working with a VA nutritionist, dietitian that kind of handles these off cases. My dad is a Vietnam War veteran affected by Agent Orange, so they do have a lot of resources for that. He is service connected, 100% disabled, which helps. But I worry at our next 6-month visit for his dementia where he'll be. They keep saying keep his vascular health good, keep his diabetes low, and hopefully it won't progress rapidly. But this is something that's been going on maybe for a couple of years. Didn't realize what it was. He had needed stents in his heart, so I'm sure that affected it. A lot of things that got missed by his doctors, but also my mom wasn't involved in going to his doctor's appointments. He wanted to do it himself, and until he really started showing signs of dementia, she figured he's an adult, he'll tell me, and he just doesn't do very well with that. We'll just leave it at that. But mom's dizziness was really, I know this is bouncing all over the place. Mom's dizziness was related to the little crystals in your ears that I guess for women as we get older are ear holes that hold them in place. They keep us from getting vertigo loosen, and the little crystals, I say marbles, but crystals can tumble out of that position, and you have to go to physical therapy to get them reintroduced to where they're supposed to be. Do you guys remember that little puzzle game? There was a little ball bearing in it, and it had little pegs that were real small, and you tipped it different ways to get the little ball to go around the pegs and eventually into the one hole that I needed to get into. That's pretty much what this whole physical therapy was like, and what they had to do. And to test it, anytime she slept on her left side, and she's a left side sleeper, it was worse, and that's when she would be dizzy, and and she had, I think, 4 or 5 PT appointments to the point where they finally got it, and I think it's holding. But now we know, and I guess this happened to her a few years ago, but she had forgotten, and I don't know that I ever paid much attention. They were pretty good 3 or 4 years ago. I just, oh good, how's your A1C, how's this doing? Mom, you're still pre-diabetic, awesome. How's your blood pressure? Wasn't super involved in wanting to, give them their privacy. Wasn't super involved as long as they were okay. I was there for major events. This last year was pretty scary in July. So there's that piece of it. State troopers, so you don't want to get stopped by them. So let's see. Emma got really, really sick. Didn't know what was going on. She's always had a cough. Not always, but in the last several years. And we knew that there was a chronic cough. It's like COPD for dogs, basically. I won't give you the noodle graphic that my vet gave me as for a visual, but basically her lungs are like Swiss cheese now. So there was that was getting worse, but then she was not eating and she was panting, and so we took her to the vet. Well, my little 15-year-old girl has diabetes. So we are on insulin shots twice a day. Every 3 weeks I have to buy insulin and needles. It's $160. If I thought human insulin was expensive, and no, you can't use human insulin for a 15-year-old dog. They have to have Vetsulin, which I guess is a porcine product. So yeah, that's been fun. But, it's Emma. I mean, she's it's been 2 years since I lost my big guy, and it hurts my heart every day. I went home and, we have him buried on the property, and I was just go sit out by his gravesite and miss him for a little bit. So I'm not ready for her to go anywhere just yet. But, she's on Adequan, which is not cheap either, and, this and all the urinary tract, I can't say that one. Proin and Incurin, we'll just give you those. What happens when female dogs get their spayed and they go into, menopause, and this is what happens as they get older. So she's on all those meds. But again, she's doing great. Once we figured it out, she started eating again, and, she's got her little bouncy trot that, gets her out and about, walking around. She's not messing in the house. I mean, I do have her, and she looks like a retired canine dog, because she's in a harness, because I need the lift strap to be able to get her up. It's just faster for me with everything going on. So there's that, and then Sam just had to go to the vet. She's got, early renal failure and early hyperactive thyroid. I can't remember what they called it. Hyperthyroidism. I'm tired. So yeah, the only thing they can do at this point, she's down to 5 pounds 10 ounces. She lost half a pound in about 6 months. We can only feed her and hopefully put some weight on her, so that when she does lose some weight, it's not as catastrophic. Sorry. It's not as catastrophic as it is when she's 5 pounds and she gets down to 4.5. So we're going to keep fattening her up. She was doing really good there for a while, and then it just kicks in. She is somewhere between 12 and 14 years old. We did rescue her years and years ago. Let's see, my other kitties are doing good. Oh, Kurt, my husband. So 2 weeks ago, thought he had a cold. So he came home and to our house, and he was supposed to come up here, but he was feeling terrible. So he went home and slept the whole weekend. And usually he heals really, really quickly. He didn't. He got sicker and sicker, and then by Monday he kind of felt better, and he had to go to Canada. So 10-hour drive to Canada. He got about 8 hours in and went, I feel horrible. I'm gonna get a room. I'm supposed to be in Canada. Like, whatever, just book a room. So he spent the night in a hotel, and the next morning he called and said, my temp's back up to 104, and I went, okay, do you feel that you can go to an urgent care? So he went to the urgent care, and ends up, he's right on that cusp of getting pneumonia. So they put him on 2 antibiotics and prednisone, and so he drove in increments home. Got home, had to take off several days out sick. Yeah, so that was fun, and I've been mean. So I drove home Saturday this weekend. No, Sunday morning I left. Wow. Sunday morning I left to drive home. Kurt wanted to rest, so Emma and I drove home Sunday morning. Spent the night, tested out the Overwatch to keep an eye on my dad and make sure, all the systems were working. actually worked out pretty well. But anyway, Kurt's feeling better. He went to work today. He's working in New Hampshire, which is great. So yeah, we've had a lot of health things going on. Me, I'm fine. Just tired. Just always tired. So yeah, just still juggling a lot. I'm hoping. So we still need to find out on my dad why his liver enzymes are so high. He just did a new blood work. We go back to the primary care physician this week. My dad turned 78 this week, so say happy birthday, Dad. I hope it's a good day. I really hope it's a good day. We are waiting for a gastroenterologist to pick up the referral to go see what's going on with the liver enzymes. He also has a hernia they'd like to get operated on. So we're just trying to figure out all these things. It seems like it's, getting to a point where with all the right things in place, we were trying to hire someone, but it is the one woman that was potentially going to do it. Very sweet, but she's kind of a wingnut, because I told her we wanted overnights, and she came out and met with us, and she was like, oh, I'd really like to do daytimes. And we're like, well, that's not what we're hiring for. I don't think my husband will let me do overnights. Thanks for wasting our time, but thanks for coming out. She's very nice. She's kind of dingy. I don't know. We'll see. At this point, if we can do it as Overwatch, hold on a minute. If we can do it as Overwatch, and I can just, Mom goes to bed 11 o'clock midnight, and I'm on from 11 o'clock to 7 in the morning, and I can do Whatnot District, Poshmark, and sell during that time live sales, and watch what's going on. And if I need to wake up Mom, pause the show, and then continue on, at least I'm killing two birds with one stone. I can actually sell some jewelry and be up and do that. And then my plan would be to pack up the shipment and get it out, and then crawl in for a nap, and then get up, and I still have to feed Emma and the kitties and all that kind of stuff myself. Catch a nap. I'm really now at like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and that's pretty much what I get. If I get a nap, that's bonus, but it is what it is. But at least I would be home, in my own home. That would be amazing. It's funny how you miss the things that you miss but you don't miss. I have a zero gravity bed. Boy, it's so nice to sleep in. That's like going to a really fancy hotel, and you're like, oh, these sheets, these million count sheets are amazing, and you're there for a few days, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. And then you go back to your normal 250 count sheets and microfiber sheets, or whatever it is that you have, and you're grateful for it. But so I miss my bed, I miss my stuff, I miss my home. There's so many things. I just realized how much sun there is there. There's so many things that I want to do at home. So many projects that I had started and then had to throw on hold. And that's okay. I don't want to be anywhere else. As long as I'm needed, once I'm able to go home, then I will go home. Yeah. So my husband did this. He was with his parents, taking care of them the first 5 months down in Florida. This was back in 2016. And then they came home up to Maine for the summer, and they passed away. They were here in middle or end of May, and they both passed away in August that same year. So it really sucked in that way. But he did this for 8 months, taking care of his parents and all of that. And it is what it is, and you do what you can. I know a lot of people can't do this, and I honestly don't know how that works. put the time in to take care of family, loved ones, friends, whatever. It's hard. It's hard either way you look at it. I mean, I have sacrificed money, projects at home, friends, people that I just won't talk to anymore, can't talk to anymore because they just don't understand. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Just, they'll be fine. And yeah, I mean, sure, they would, but you know what? I have the ability and I'm going to do it. So, like it or lump it. It's kind of how I feel. I got my Dunkin'. This is what I live on. I'm not supposed to live on it, but I do love my caffeine. So it's life. But that was my plan. Hopefully coming June, hopefully, there's still a market for what I'm doing. I have all kinds of other stuff to sell, so it doesn't have to be jewelry. I had a whole eBay business before this, selling vintage and items, just reselling. Yes, ma'am. Oh, there we go with a chronic cough. She'll be fine in a minute. There we go. Got it up. Good girl. Nope. A little bit more. And that has been getting worse, and she's on meds for it. Yeah, vet said once you diagnose diabetes in a dog, they usually have a year. So we're at a couple of months right now. Not thinking about that right now. So it's my boring update for right now. It's my life. But it's beautiful in Maine right now. I don't know if you can really see it here. It is absolutely gorgeous. We're just kind of getting out of the wet season into really beautiful. The grass is coming up. The flowers are starting to come up. Haven't had snow in a couple weeks. Yoo-hoo. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I will be back with some unboxing videos if you're getting to hear that song. So I did talk to David from David's Deals, and I have a list of things that he says he's going to make right. We'll see. He knew that it was going to take me some time because I haven't even unboxed some of the stuff that he sent. And what I did unbox, well, there were some issues, but I'll get into more of that soon, hopefully. Yeah. That's it for now, guys. Thank you. Take care. Hope everybody's well. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of yourself. I know I say that, but Anyway, thanks, guys. Bye.